Your Client Success Manager here with LendPro. Today we're going to be going over how to finalize a fully approved application in your LendPro portal. There was a recent update basically ensuring that your entire finalization process is much more smoother and much more effective than going through multiple different merchant portals. So first things first, when it comes down to it, is you're going to want to find your approved application in your LendPro portal, whether that be via clicking into a customer on the dashboard or on your search tab. Now here, once you see that there is a fully approved application for a specific lender and for the right amount and your customer is ready to proceed, you'll see a finalize button here on the right-hand side. Now, there are still a couple lenders that do not have full transactional functionality through LendPro. So if you don't have the ability to move forward and transact in your LendPro portal, that approved application will not have a finalize button. If that's the case, you'll just go to that respective lender portal and transact there as you normally would. However, if you see the finalize button here, you will want to ensure that it's all done through LendPro. Now, once you click on that finalize button, an invoice will come up. The first things first is to confirm the customer details, ensuring that you clicked on the right one. After that, you'll just select your own self on the Sales Associates tab, or if there's different sales associate affiliated with that customer, you'll select them. Now, if this is a purchase that is getting delivered to an address, and if they have a different shipping address than what is listed on their application here, you can simply click on Add Shipping Address and update it to where that delivery is going to take place. Now here it's pretty straightforward and standardized. So the invoice number, you'll put in the invoice number here. If you have any promotion codes with that respective lender that's applicable, you can enter that here as well. Now, the shipping cost is pretty self-explanatory. And then, of course, you have your line items. Now, keep in mind with every single lender, their invoice fields or screen may be a little slightly different, but this is a pretty generic, straightforward example here. So the leasable section here will always be standard and click. You don't have to mess with that. You'll just enter in the SKU, the purchase item name or description, what type of item. You'll either select merchandise or service. And once you enter in the quantity as well as the unit price, that will automatically update the line total here. So this will automatically add up for you, as well as it'll update the remaining amount as well as financed amount as well. So financed amount will be if you have any additional taxes or shipping in combination with your line totals, and it'll always update your remaining balance for that customer as well. So let's say if they also have more than one item or service, you can simply click on Add New Item Line, and an additional field of this nature will populate below where you can enter in multiple items on that invoice. Once you can ensure that everything on this screen is correct, you're going to click on Proceed with Transaction. And then this field and this box will populate up at the top as well. Now you'll have three different options here to proceed with the contract. So the most preferable option is to open a new browser tab. So once you click on this, not only will you be able to view the different payment options for your customer, and you'll be able to proceed with the customer and store in a new browser tab for the contract signing process, but it will also email your customer a copy of their contract as well. So that is the most preferable. However, of course, if you're not working with the customer in store, let's say if they were an online shopper, or let's say if they went home for the day, anything of that nature, if you can also text the link to the customer, or you can email the link to the customer as well. You just have to check off the text message consent or the email consent boxes, and then it'll give you the option to send link to customer's phone or to their email address. So that is a total of 3 different contract signing methods there. Now, let's say in the situation where you clicked on Open a New Browser tab, the customer's phone number will pre-populate. For verification, you'll just enter in the last 4 digits of their social, which they'll be able to provide for you in store. And then you'll simply click on Payment and e-sign Documents button right here in the middle. Once you click on that, that will open up the payment options, if there are any, as well as the contract signing process for next steps. Overall, that's the entire process on how to fill out an invoice as well as how to send the customer the contract. I did want to review how to check the statuses of contracts to ensure that you're clear to release the purchase. Now, with that, in your LendPro portal, there is an Orders tab here on the left-hand side. Now here, of course, you'll still have the same filter and search functionalities as on the Search tab, but this is going to be specifically for your contracts to be shown side by side. Now, there are quite a few different statuses when it comes down to contracts, as well as I will have a note and I will go over one lender in particular with Vernance at the very end of this video. So I'll give a general overall scope of how contract statuses work now. If you have Vernance, please wait until the end of the video so I can give you their one niche piece. Now, standardly, there are going to be three different statuses for majority of lenders. So the contract status here, if you see this, you'll simply understand that either the customer has not signed that contract yet, or you are waiting on the lender to take the initial payment and to send confirmation. Once both the customer has signed as well as the lender's taken the initial payment successfully, that contract will update to this blue finalized status here. Now, once in this blue finalized status, that means that both parties are good. So you're good to release that purchase or service. Now, with that, as soon as the customer has the product in hand, or whenever you typically mark something as delivered, on that date, you're going to click into this finalized contract for this customer, and you click on process settlement. Once you click on that, a box will open up to add the delivery date. So as soon as that is marked as delivered, you'll enter in that date there and you'll click on submit. So once you click on that, it's been delivered, it will update to this green funded status here, showing that not only the customer is taken care of, but also that the purchase and product has been delivered as well. So other than that, that's going to be the overall synopsis of how contract signing and statuses work. Additionally, when it comes down to contract statuses, if you believe there's a new updated status that hasn't updated in your LendPro portal yet, you can always click into any of these and then click on check purchase status, and that will manually check with the lender to see if there is a more recent up-to-date status. So let's say if it hasn't updated to funded yet, you can simply click on check purchase status and it should go from there. Now that covers everything. Now to go into the specific piece in regards to Vernance. So Vernance currently does not have a finalized status. So on the initial invoice creation here, that where you entered in the date of delivery, with Vernance, it'll go straight from contract to funded on the date of delivery. So as soon as that's all taken care of. Now, when it comes down to knowing when you're clear to release that purchase, you will receive an email from Vernance with confirmation and verification of purchase agreement that that customer has signed their contract and they were able to successfully take the payment. However, with Vernance, they do have one additional status on their contracts as well, labeled payment due, and it is the same color as this orange. So if you notice that a contract status is updated to payment due here, that means that Vernance attempted to take an initial payment from that customer. However, it was declined, whether that be a balance issue or a card issue. In that case, of course, that customer can call Vernance customer support, or you can call their merchant support. So that way you guys can ensure that they're able to take that initial payment, and then it'll update to funded on the date of delivery. So at the end of the day, you just want to ensure that you receive that verification from Vernance via email before moving forward. However, of course, if you don't receive an email for whatever reason within about 10 minutes or so after the customer has signed the contract, you can always call Vernance merchant support and ask for the status of that contract to ensure that you're good to go. Aside from that, like I said, we are working on getting from Vernance this finalized status in blue, so that way y'all won't have to check email and correspondence. You'll be able to do it all from one portal. But in the meantime, that is how they are particular about it. But please, again, additionally, there is a support phone number here at the bottom of your screen, as well as support email. Or you can always give us a call if you have any questions regarding invoice creation, contract signing process, as well as contract statuses. Thank you so much.